All right, so I got a story that I don't even know if I've ever even told on the live stream. I may have mentioned it before once or twice, but this is something that happened to me back when I was in college. And to this day, it has made me far more aware of what my GPS is telling me to do and, mapping out my trips before I take them because it was one of the most horrifying experiences I ever had in my entire life. And I'm still traumatized a little bit about it to this day. And so is my buddy who was on the trip with me. So let me give you a little background of why I ended up in the situation I was in. So it was November 2014. Now, I went to a school upstate in New York called Plattsburgh State University, which is on the east side of the state of New York. It's right on the border of New York and Vermont, and it's separated. Plattsburgh and Vermont are separated by Lake Champlain. So just to give you some geographical context of what's going on here. Now, the weekend in question, myself and my buddy, who was also at Plattsburgh, were driving to Cortland on the other side of the Adirondack Mountains, still in the state of New York. Now, Cortland is around like the Syracuse Binghamton pocket of New York State, if anybody knows that, like that little area there, kind of in the middle of Western New York. So we were heading there for the weekend because it was Cortaca, which, if anybody's a real fucking nut job for college football, Cortaca is the weekend that Cortland and Ithaca play each other in football. It's one of the best rivalries in all of college football, in my opinion, and probably the best rivalry in Division III college football. And if it's something you've never seen, and if it's an experience you've never had, and you're looking for something out of the ordinary, I highly suggest going to one of these events. It is a fucking nutty event. Now, for two guys like me, and for the rest of my friends who were all meeting up in Cortland that weekend, really wasn't about the football game. That weekend every year, Cortaca is an absolute fucking shit show. At least at the time, I don't know what it is anymore. Where like you go and it's just a giant fucking campus party the entire weekend. So we were really looking forward to it. So little background of what happened. Me and my buddy were taking my car, well, my dad's car that I had up there at Plattsburgh, and we were taking it to Cortland that weekend. So we were gonna leave Friday morning, come back Sunday, and it's about like a 4-hour drive from Plattsburgh to Cortland. So it's Thursday night. It's around like 9, 10 o'clock. And let me tell you, as much as this should have kept me away from traveling overnight, I will say I have become a very big overnight traveler. I think like, if you're going to go for a drive and you're going to drive somewhere, I think driving in the middle of the night is the best thing to do. No traffic. But anyway, this wasn't a time that proved me that. So me and my buddy are sitting there Thursday night. We're leaving the next morning. We're talking about it. And, on a whim, he just asked me, he's like, what class do you have in the morning that we can't miss? I'm like, I got nothing. I'm like, I'm off tomorrow. I have no classes on Friday. And he's like, oh, all right. So I looked at him. I'm like, you want to just leave tonight? Should we just go right now? Because we were staying at my buddy's place. We just had to let him know that we were coming. And again, 4-hour trip. We'd be there by like, I think we were like, it was like 10 o'clock when we decided we were going to leave. So we'd be there, quick math, 11, 12, 1. So like 2 in the morning. Not a problem. We say, fuck it, we're going. Now, when we did that, didn't check the weather, didn't check anything going on. So we were just like, fuck it, we're winging this. We're absolutely just going to wing this whole thing. I'm going to type it into the GPS and go. Now, let me tell you, as somebody who made this mistake, always check the GPS before you start driving. Make sure it's taking you somewhere. Make sure it's taking you in a direction that makes sense. So we get in the car, we just take off. We're like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, dude. Like, we're going to get there early. We're going to get some sleep. We're going to wake up, fucking pound beers tomorrow. It's going to be the best weekend ever. And then we start driving down, I forget what fucking highway it is, but we're going down, and all of a sudden, the GPS takes me on this, like, it tells me to take an exit and head west. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I guess we're heading west a little early. Now, me being the dumbass I was at the time, I probably should have realized that, hey, going west right now is taking us straight through the fucking mountains in the middle of the night. But I was just so fucking laser focused on that first beer I was going to have at Cortaca. So I start driving. We're driving. And it occurred to me at some point that, okay, something's really not right here. I make a turn and it is pitch black darkness. And I look at my friend who's like, trying to get to sleep, and I'm like, yo, like, I don't think we're going the right way. I don't know. Like, this doesn't feel right. And I look at the GPS. I pull over the side of the road, and I check it. It's like, no, it's taking us to Cortland. So we're like, fuck it. The turnaround at this point, we had driven about like half hour, 45 minutes west, and now we're in the fucking mountains. We are fully in the goddamn mountains. So I'm like, screw it. You know what? This will be a cool experience. We'll drive through the Adirondacks. We'll see what this area is all about. So we start the drive, and not even 10 minutes in, it's like a party at Tony Montana's house, the amount of fucking snow that's falling on the ground. And it is fucking just piles of snow, and I'm like, oh my fucking God. Thank God we were in my father's Nissan Pathfinder, which is a great car for the snow. But, you know, when you've never done a drive like this, it's the scariest fucking thing on the planet. It is snowing in buckets, dude. So I'm driving, and there's not a fucking street light or anything in the middle of the Adirondacks. So I am driving as slow as I possibly can because I could barely see the road in front of me. You know, I don't know if there's turns or twists or anything that might send us off the side of the mountain. We're fucking sliding everywhere. Dude, my buddy was like trying to go to sleep, and he's like, I can't even do this. He's like, I can't even try to go to sleep right now. I'm worried we're going to die. So we're driving and driving, and like, dude, when I tell you this was like as mountain as it comes, like, we're driving through the Adirondacks, and I'm looking up, and like, there's like wires hanging over the road that has like, you know, like deer carcasses and shit hanging from. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It felt like we were literally going to get stopped by a group of people, and we were just going to get eaten alive. Like, that's how fucking scary it was. Now, to be honest, the Adirondacks aren't that scary. I've done it since. I've done the drive since in the middle of summer, and it's actually a pretty nice drive. But in the middle of the winter, when you're driving, no lights, middle of the night, it is the fucking worst thing on the planet. So we drove through the mountains. I'm telling you, it was like 3 full hours of the trip because I was going so slow. I'm driving as slow as I possibly can. There is not a sign of life. We didn't even pass a fucking gas station the whole time. I don't know how those people drive around. So, and wildlife everywhere too. Like, when I tell you, like, you're driving down the road, there's a deer. Like, there's 2 lanes. You're driving down one side. There's a deer hanging out on the other side of the road. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, they really have this place taken over. We're driving through. About 3 hours, dude, of slipping, sliding. Like, really feeling like I'm going to die. Like, I don't think I've ever felt closer to death than in this moment. We finally make it through, right? We finally get through the mountains. The first thing we see is a gas station. I pull over on the side of the road. I'm like, we're fucking stopping here. I just need to sit for like 25 minutes and think about how happy I am that I'm still alive here. So we hang out at the gas station for a little bit. Now, you would think our ordeal is over once we get through the mountains, right? Wrong. We drove ourselves right into the storm pretty much. When I tell you, we pretty much were following the storm the whole way because we get to about the area. I think we were in the Syracuse area at this point. I couldn't tell. I couldn't read any fucking signs. It was the worst snowstorm ever. It was snowing so much in this area that we were in. It was like, you know what it was? It was like the Rome, New York area. And we were driving on the highway. Thank God at this point we're on the highway, but I can't see a fucking thing. I don't know if there's people stopped in front of me. I am fully convinced I'm getting into a car accident at this point. And I'm driving as slow as possible. You know, and again, this took another 2 hours. Our trip went from about a 4-hour trip. It legitimately took us about 7 hours to get to Cortland. So we're driving, or I'm driving. I don't know why I'm saying we. My buddy did not even fucking take the wheel for a second. I was driving the entire time. We're going down the highway, and finally, after about like an hour and a half of driving through the worst snowstorm ever, you know, a couple, like, not close calls, but a couple times where, like, all of a sudden I barely saw brake lights in front of me, you know, plow trucks and all this shit. We finally get through the break of the storm. We finally are all clear, and it was like, you know, it was kind of like walking through the desert and finally finding a fucking, you know, lake that you could drink out of. That sort of feeling. We get to, like, the area, we get to, like, the Binghamton exit. I think it was Binghamton. And we're like, we're almost here. The snow, like, dissipates. We got clear road. We're fucking driving. We finally get to the exit. That's SUNY Cortland, baby. We made it. We fucking made it to our destination. Now it's about 5 in the morning. My buddy's been calling me all night in Cortland, like, hey, man, where are you guys? Like, I've been waiting all night. Didn't have phone service in the mountains or anything. We fucking pull up to our destination, and dude, when I tell you, I have never been so relieved in my entire life. I was like, 4 or 5 times that week. I mean, that weekend, just on that drive. I thought we were gonna die for certain. I thought we were dead. I thought it was over for us. But I got there, and we had the best weekend ever. Cortaca is the best fucking thing you can do. You know, those beers went down a lot easier. Let me tell you. Thinking about, hey, we're lucky to be here. The amount of beers, like it was just like a relief, like just relaxing, having the time of our lives. And Cortaca is one of those things. If you're a fucking nut about college football, if you're a nut about things like you're interested in like other things to do, if you're a college kid in New York State, if you're going to college and you're looking for a school to go to that you're going to enjoy, finding your way to Cortaca, finding your way to that school, like doing something involving the Cortaca weekend, which I think they played Cortaca a couple years ago at Yankee Stadium, and which was cool. I actually went. I don't know why I said probably. I was there. I literally went to Billy's by Yankee Stadium. It is an awesome fucking experience. It was worth almost dying in the Adirondacks for, and I'm here to tell the story. So at the end of the day, it's a story of perseverance. It's a story of, survival, and I'm here to tell the story. We made it. Guys, have a great fucking day.